Oh, come on. All right, I gotta find that story.
United Airlines is stepping up its orders of Boeing 737 MAX jets, anticipating an increase in travel demand soon. United wants 25 of the jets by 2023 and is asking Boeing to move up the delivery of 40 previously ordered jets to next year. Volvo is hitting the accelerator on electric vehicles. The company now says by 2030, all of its new cars will be fully electric, and buying a Volvo will be an online-only experience. Dealerships will stay open to help make online orders and to service cars. This is ABC News.
Hello, friend Pat Boone here. Silver is creating lots of excitement, so I called my friends at Swiss America to get the scoop on whether this silver opportunity is for real. What I discovered blew my mind. It's all covered in a new silver report from Swiss America, which explains why silver prices cannot stay at this level for very long. Call 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646. Get a free copy of the silver report now.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network. Ohio is getting ready to enter a whole new phase. Governor Mike DeWine is rolling out what he's calling Phase 1C and Phase 2 for vaccines. Andrew Kinsey with ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus has details.
Phase 1C opens up the vaccine to some people in medical groups not covered by Phase 1B. It also covers those who work in childcare, funeral service workers, and law enforcement. Phase 2 covers people 60 and older. Phase 1C and Phase 2 both begin Thursday. The governor says the next group after that will be based on age, with 55 and older being next on the list.
The additions to those eligible come as more and more vaccines come into the state, as ONN's Yolanda Harris explains.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine was given emergency use authorization on Saturday. So this week, Ohio expects to receive more than 96,000 doses of the J&J vaccine and more than 448,000 vaccines when combining Pfizer and Moderna.
The governor says the new groups add about 900,000 Ohioans to the list.
Every single day that goes by, it's imperative that we get as many shots in people's arms as we can.
Ohio reported 49 new deaths yesterday from the coronavirus, putting the total at 17,346. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
For generations, Made in America has stood for quality and craftsmanship. in manufacturing, food production, technology, and construction.
The Made in America label has brought our country economic security and our innovations to the world.
Made in America isn't just a slogan, it's the story of our country, the men and women who sacrificed to build our nation.
It's our commitment to hard work, ingenuity, and to making things better than the way we found them.
America is ready to get back to work.
And we can start by rebuilding our infrastructure,
strengthening our manufacturing base,
and investing in our businesses and our communities.
Made in America means hundreds of thousands of new jobs across the country.
It means new transportation, clean energy, and telecommunications networks.
It means a healthier environment,
national security, and economic freedom.
That's good for our families, good for the world,
and good for our future.
Let's get America back to work.
Let's invest in Ohio.
Let's invest in us. Learn more at let'sinvestinus.com. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Energy Solutions Forum.
Thank you for riding with the Watchdog. Live and local, just the way you like it.
Calls and conversations continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Get a stylish solution for every room with window treatments at Menards and save with 11% off everything. Get Window Images room darkening vinyl and aluminum blinds, faux wood blinds, and cellular shades trimmed to width for free. Or order a custom style and size. Choose from durable, economical options to stunning custom designs, all 11% off. Good through March 6th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Mostly sunny skies, a high near 41. Partly cloudy through the overnight with lows of about 22 degrees. You'll see plenty of sunshine mixing in with just a few clouds for your Wednesday, with highs in the low 50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
All right, listen up, you guys. Morning. It's Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday. I am loving the sound of your voice.
Good morning, sunshine.
Crank up the radio.
You all ready for the big show?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
And action. Okay, let's do it. Hey, guys. You ready to let the dogs out?
All right, let's do this.
Yes, we are ready to let the dogs out.
Well, what are we waiting for?
It's showtime.
Something to think about, something to laugh about, and something to talk about every day. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
You know, some days I just wish I didn't even listen to ABC News. Not because they do things wrong, because they give me something just, it makes me, like that. This is my rundown sheet for the day today, rundown for Tuesday. I got all kinds of things planned today. We're going to open up with some talk about Tiger Woods, then about Zoom in the courtroom, get to the West Virginia legislature. And we'll get to all of this coming up. But I had it all planned out. It was all right, neat, and organized. I knew exactly when I was going to do what, and introduce you to the new Watchdog Madness contest coming up a little bit later. I was all right here, all planned out, all nice. And then I hear a story on ABC News, Biff. I don't know. Do you know the story I'm talking about? Can you guess the one that got me upset?
Yeah, I caught it.
6 Dr. Seuss books are being withdrawn from publication because Dr. Seuss. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I Ann. Are being withdrawn from the market because they're racist. Dr. Seuss. You have got to be kidding me. From the Associated Press, this is the story, and I had not heard the story until ABC gave it to us, so I don't know all the details. I got a big story here, but 6 Dr. Seuss books, including And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo, will stop being published because of racist and insensitive imagery, the business that preserves and protects the author's legacy said on Tuesday. I could be wrong, but I think today is his birthday. I might be wrong. Someday this week, and I think it's today, because I even told Teddy that yesterday. I think today is Ted Geisel, Theodore Geisel, which is Dr. Seuss's real name. I think today's his birthday. This is supposed to be Dr. Seuss events, throughout the country for children's reading and so on. The folks from Dr. Seuss Enterprises said, quote, "These books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Ceasing sales of these books is part of our commitment and our broader plan to ensure Dr. Seuss Enterprises catalog represents and supports all communities and families." The other books affected, I mentioned, and To Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and If I Ran the Zoo. Other Dr. Seuss books affected are McElligot's Pool, don't know that one, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Eggs Super, and The Cat's Quizzer. Dr. Seuss Enterprises listened and took feedback from our audiences, including teachers, academics, and specialists. We then worked with a panel of experts to review our catalog of titles, and so they're taking these off the market.
Today is his birthday.
Today is his birthday. All right, today is Dr. Theodore Geisel, Ted Geisel. Today is his birthday. Theodore Geisel is, or was, Dr. Seuss.
And it looks
I'm sure there.
It looks like, Howard, they're calling today Read Across America Day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure that there will be all kinds of reading events, and Dr. Seuss will be the focus of many of them all across America, in libraries, in schools, and so on. I know in years gone by, I've taken part of those where I've gone into schoolrooms and read some Dr. Seuss books to kids. I love Dr. Seuss, and I love reading Dr. Seuss, and I loved it when my kids could quote Dr. Seuss back to me, and Teddy is beginning to be able to read Dr. Seuss himself. I love that. And now some of them are going to be racist. The story that I have in front of me here from the AP doesn't really tell me where the racist images are. Maybe jumping the gun here. Maybe there is really some terrible, horrible racist image in there. I think I have read just about every Dr. Seuss book there is. I don't remember anything that would strike me as racist. One of the books, Babar's Travels, was removed from the shelves of a library in Great Britain 8 years ago because of alleged stereotypes of Africans. God, I'm just... Critics of... did you ever watch Curious George when you were a kid, Biff?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Teddy loved... I guess he still does, but when he was a younger boy, he loved Curious George, especially Curious George Christmas special. It was the story of the man in the yellow hat who had his pet monkey friend, George. Curious George. Curious George books have been taken off the market in some places because the premise of a white man bringing a monkey home from Africa. Author and educator Herbert Cole contends that Babar the Elephant books were celebrations of colonialism because of how the title character leaves the jungle and later returns to civilize his fellow animals. These are other books, non-Seuss books. I don't see anything in this story that tells me, son of a gun, I don't know what the racist imagery is. I mean, I want to get outraged. I am outraged. Dr. Seuss, how can you censor Dr. Seuss of all things? But I guess I would like to know what the racist images are. I say it seems like at least 2 or 3 times a week, Biffy, I'm saying we're going too far.
Well, it just goes to show that even in something like Dr. Seuss, which you think is harmless or doesn't seem that bad that they'll even find something in Dr. Seuss to complain about.
And I like the use of your verb there, find. They find it. Let's look for racism. Now look, let me put my predicate in here that I always do. I'm about as liberal a guy as you can get. And I firmly believe in the power of language. And I believe that very often we don't consider the way we use our language. And I believe that there are insidious images of racism and sexism and other isms buried inside our culture sometimes that we don't stop to think about. I'm a liberal. I believe this stuff. I think we should have, in its best sense of the word, political correctness. But we go too far. We go too far, and we have to go and find it. Again, I love that. I love your verb. If we find these things. Were there children all across America reading Dr. Seuss and saying, "Mommy, I think that's not fair to that black character"? I doubt that. Was there any child reading Babar the Elephant? I read Babar the Elephant when I was a kid. Was there any child who said, "Mommy, it seems to me this is British colonialism being exploited"? I'll bet you the answer is no, Beth.
I mean,
bet you the answer is no.
That when little kids are reading books or doing whatever, that is the farthest thing from their mind. They're more concerned about the pictures and the animals and what's in the background, and they focus on that. And if they say whatever their favorite color is, if they see something in there that's their favorite color or whatever or shape, they're going to point it out. I mean, they're going to look at you and go, "Look, there's the blue water, or there's the green grass, or there's a tree, or there's a square or something." That's what they're more concerned with.
And in Dr. Seuss, it's all about the language, the play of the words one against each other, the poetry. "I do not like you, Sam I am. I do not like you, green eggs and ham." It's the play of the words, the play of the characters, the cat in the hat, It's a word, and that's why Dr. Seuss is so popular, because it is a great way for kids to start to learn to read, because they pick up the rhyme, pick up the meter, they pick up the rhythm, and they see the pictures and they understand it, and it's a great way to teach kids to read. So it's the language that's important there. And I don't know. I don't know.
It's just something else to shake your head and wonder about.
And I had not planned at all to get into this, but here we go. Let me take it. I'm just looking for some stories here. See if I can find. What I'm looking for is somebody in these articles to tell me what it is in Dr. Seuss that's so bad. This article that I'm looking at is called "Why Schools Should Rethink Dr. Seuss." I thought maybe that would. A 2019 study found that only 2% of the Dr. Seuss human characters were people of color. I get it may not be the diverse. Reading Dr. Seuss may not be the way you teach your children diversity, okay? I get that. 98% of the characters in the book are white. Okay. So there are other books that are designed to teach your kids diversity. Please go get them and read them to your children so they can learn diversity. And I mean that sincerely. Dr. Seuss is a language book. It is a fun, silly language book.
If the only reason that you could come up with to get rid of Dr. Seuss is because it's not diversified enough, that's a pretty bad reason to get rid of a book that teaches other things as well.
Right. Exactly. And that's only for what, I mean, the seems to be, at least that comment, again, maybe there's more to it, that comment is for what the book doesn't do, as opposed to what it does do. I don't think, I'm trying to think back on Dr. Seuss, and again, I've read almost all of them. I don't, please don't anybody get offended at me. I don't think there's any Dr. Seuss book where there's like a person of color, a character of color, who says, yes, Massa, I do that for you, Massa. I mean, you understand what I'm saying, Biff? I don't think there's anything that, there may not be enough people of color in there for those who prefer diversity. Again, that's, Dr. Seuss didn't write a book of diversity. But is there anything wrong with what he did write?
Not that I know of.
Again, I'm skimming this article real quick here from this psychologist. Over the last few weeks, I found myself learning how problematic Dr. Seuss and his books are, especially for children who are black, indigenous, and people of color. I want and expect my school to teach my children diverse and uplifting authors and stories to continue in the classroom. Well, again, I mean, first of all, I think Dr. Seuss is kind of uplifting and fun. He's a fun writer. But he's not diverse. Again, okay. There are books that have more diverse characters in them. Go find them.
And it goes back to, as well, getting rid of history. The bad part of our history. I mean, that's I think what that says right there. Well, okay. Well, there are other books, you can go to. I mean, why are you just focusing on one?
The character of the cat in Cat in the Hat, again, reading this article here from a psychologist who thinks we should rethink Dr. Seuss. The character of Cat in Cat in the Hat, according to well-known research, was based on varying influences, including a black woman who worked as an elevator operator in the building of Dr. Seuss's publisher, as well as stereotypes of black culture, blackface performers, and minstrel shows used as entertainment for white viewers. Thank heavens this woman says, I understand Dr. Seuss, or Ted Geisel actually, I understand Ted Geisel was a product of his times, and that's certainly the case. And that's the point too, Biffy. Dr. Seuss was written at a certain time by a certain man in a certain period. To the best of my knowledge, I said that, maybe I'm wrong, there is no blatant racism in there. It's just, Dr. Seuss wrote in a certain time period.
It goes back to the events and what was going on during that time period. And it goes back to, again, we're going a lot back to here with this, but you can't apply terms and situations now as the same you did back then. It's another one of those type things.
Absolutely. And I think that we don't give kids enough credit. I always use examples like that. When I was a kid, and then my kids were kids, and now Teddy is along. But when I was a kid, and I watched a lot of the Saturday morning cartoons, for example, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Beep, beep. And the Roadrunner was always dropping an anvil on Wile E. Coyote, right?
Yes, he was.
Never once in my life as a child did I think that I should go out and drop an anvil on somebody. Never struck me.
Right.
As a kid, as a little bitty teeny kid, I understood those are cartoons. It's a funny show on television. It's not real life. As a little kid, I could draw that distinction. I knew, But there was a period of time when those cartoons, we have to stop showing these kind of cartoons. They show bad things. They show violence. Again, I never once thought that anvil was going to kill Wile E. Coyote. First place, Wile E. Coyote always came out of it, right? But secondly, or the Roadrunner always came out of it. But because he got up and went beep, beep, and off he went. But I never thought that the Roadrunner was really killed by the anvil. And I never, ever thought that somebody on a cliff above me was going to drop an anvil on me, nor that I would drop an anvil on somebody I didn't like. Kids are smarter than that. Kids who read Dr. Seuss read it for the funny cartoon-like characters. They read it for the play of words. And they read it to learn language. Oh, man. Do you see where these people have got me on? Biff, I had this all morning. I had everything planned. It was going to be nice, easy going. And you see what they've done to me again?
Yep.
And they make me, and then they make me sound like some kind of a reactionary. They make me sound like I don't care about political correctness and stuff. But I do.
We just go overboard with it.
That's exactly right. We just go overboard. Off the text line at 304-214-1600. Well, guess I need to burn my gateway to the Storyland book that has Little Black Sambo in it. Now, Little Black Sambo is pretty racist. Let's be clear about that. But again, taken in its context, even that is, understandable. Biffy, you get compliments here. Great take, Biff. Right on, brother.
That's good.
Yeah. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean that sincerely. Maybe I'm missing something with this. I need to do more research. This story crossed my mind for the first time less than 30 minutes ago when ABC News did it. So I did a quick research online, pulled up some of the stories that I've shared with you. I just can't conceive. It's funny because just last night, I was telling Teddy that today, when he gets home from school, I thought we'd dig out some Dr. Seuss books and read them together. Because this is Read Across America Day?
Yeah, Read Across America Day.
Dr. Seuss's birthday today. The Cat in the Hat. Green Eggs and Ham. What are some of the other ones, the other big ones? They want to just keep going back and repeating this Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. I probably like that one, Biff, because it's breakfast food.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got food in it, doesn't it?
It's got food in it. All right. That's not what I had planned to do with the first segment of the show today. Got a little Tiger Woods talk I want to get to, and we'll talk about why Zoom is a good thing, but maybe not always in the courtrooms. That's coming up this morning here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 20 degrees right now. Oh, and the very first entries into our Watchdog Madness contest coming up as well. I'll tell you about that in a moment. 20 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. A little bit of wind blowing around. It feels like 11, so it's cold outside, but it looks nice. Looks nice, sunshine and blue skies beginning to come up as the sun is rising. 20 at the airport, 20 at the home studios here in Elm Grove, and 20 at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley.
Wake up to the Ohio Valley's favorite morning show, the Watchdog Morning.
Biffy, do you have a sheet or something for us on this Watchdog Madness contest? All right, we're supposed to do, each of us are doing 16, is that right? I know we don't, but we're supposed to start it today to get enough in before Selection Sunday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple little quickie things when we come back, and I'm going to introduce the contest, and during the news break, we'll take 2 callers to get registered. Okay? That'll at least get us started. If that's okay with you. Okay, well.
Ohio Dominican's affordable tuition means an ODU degree not only fits your schedule, it also fits your budget. Earn your degree online from an accredited university that has called Columbus home for over 100 years. Take the first step at ohiodominican.edu/adult.
Benwood. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Benwood trusts the Watchdog.
It's your turn to talk. From politics to pet peeves, get it off your chest and on the air. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
What's coming up over the course of the morning this morning? March Madness is coming, and the Watchdog Madness contest begins today. In fact, begins in just a minute, so stick around for that. We begin to gather entrants for a chance to win a big screen TV in the Watchdog Madness contest. Stick around. Your first chance to get registered coming up in less than a couple of minutes. Zoom is a great tool that even helps our legal system, but sometimes Zoom in court goes a little bit off the rails. We have some stories that I think will be interesting for you. The Senate in West Virginia has passed a charter school bill, but the price tag for public education for the voucher bill is staggeringly high in the fiscal note that has come out. So that Hope Scholarship voucher bill is being held up while they consider what to do about the cost of it. Governor Justice has agreed he's going to reside in Charleston as part of a settlement with Isaac Spinagle in the lawsuit that was filed. We'll have the latest from Charleston, including our daily Capitol report coming up as well. Raising the minimum wage may or may not be part of the COVID relief package in the Senate, but it does remain a Biden priority. We're going to talk to Ryan Frankenberry from Working Families West Virginia about how a minimum wage raise impacts workers in West Virginia. Trump's return to the spotlight at CPAC and claims of sexual harassment against Andrew Cuomo are two big stories we'll tackle with our D.C. correspondent, Tom Squitieri. And we've got some of the latest info on COVID vaccines, including a look at reasons why we still need to take precautions after getting it. There's been a lot of argument on some Facebook pages that I've been involved with lately over, well, if we have the vaccine doesn't work. It proves it doesn't work. Because if it doesn't work because I've had the vaccine and they still won't let me see my grandmother. The vaccine is not magic. And I'll tell you why coming up a little bit later on. So all of that coming up in just a bit here on the Watchdog Morning Show. And Biffy, somebody's always got to come up with, somebody always wants to create trouble. Maybe that's what I want to say. Tiger Woods, what's it been earlier? That was this weekend? When was the Tiger Woods crash?
I think it was actually a week ago.
It's been a week? All right.
I think it's been a week.
Well, he was seriously injured. Very likely that he may never play golf again. He is recuperating. There are to be no criminal charges. That was one of the things that was said. But page 6, which is a tabloid page in a New York tabloid, has a report citing forensic car experts saying that Tiger appeared to not be paying attention before his crash, and they think he may have fallen asleep at the wheel. We have to always blame somebody, don't we?
Yeah.
Got to find a way to blame somebody. So Jonathan Cherney, a consultant who serves as an expert witness in court cases, told USA Today, "This seems like a classic case of falling asleep behind the wheel because the road curves and his vehicle goes straight. It's a drift off the road, almost like he was either unconscious, suffering from a medical episode, or fell asleep and didn't wake up until he was off the road when the brake application came in." An accident reconstruction expert, Felix Lee, said, "My feeling is speed wasn't much of an issue. It was just some kind of inattention that caused the curb strike." These, it may be true. I don't know. I doubt if he fell asleep at the wheel. I don't know about you, but have you ever sneezed while you're driving?
Yeah, and it scares the heck out of me when I do it for that
absolute
second that your eyes are closed. But I mean, the car that the Tiger was driving was a Genesis, because that was where the tournament was that he was presenting the trophy to the winner. But the car will be able, because they've got special features, I guess, in that car that said that they'll be able to tell everything that happened, and it's, from what I gather, it's going to be about precise as to what happened. So
kind of like an airplane's black box.
yeah, pretty much, and some other features in there as well. So let's just wait until that comes out and see what they find.
Yeah, there's always this desire to run, and when a celebrity of any kind is involved, to really create blame somehow, create an error, and maybe there was, I don't know. And if Tiger, I found it. People fall asleep at the wheel, sadly, all the time. Again, people sneeze. People see something on the side of the road and they turn their head. And suddenly there's a bend in front of them. Again, I'm like you, Biffy. There are times I scare myself to death driving, and I just lose attention for one quick second, and then you go, "Oh my God!" So I don't know. Do we need to be looking for trouble for Tiger Woods? I guess USA Today did. God, I'm sounding like some conservative, aren't I? Jeez. Anyway. All right, here's what I want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is that time of year. I think we're actually having March Madness this year, right, Biffy?
We are.
We are going to have March Madness this year. And in conjunction with March Madness, we are going to do what we tried to do last year, which is the Watchdog Madness contest. If you remember, we got just partway through this, and all of a sudden March Madness went off the books, and we had to regroup. The Watchdog Madness contest is really simple. Between now and the 15th, we're going to select each of our hosts on the shows, your morning emperor here, Bill DeFabio, Big Rick, and even Dr. G. We will each select via phone calls 16 entrants, of total 64 when it's over and done with. And then after Selection Sunday, and your names, those 64 names will all go into a bin. After Selection Sunday, we will draw a name out, and we will assign you to one of the 64 teams in March Madness. And then we'll just play March Madness. You'll have a team that you'll follow, and whoever's team wins will win a big screen TV. So we'll play a little bit of Watchdog Madness. But the first part of it is getting you registered. So while we have a news update coming up right now, while the news is on, 304-232-8255, 304-232-TALK. Brother Biff will get 2 callers registered for our Watchdog Madness contest, all right? So I want to register 2 of you right now, just to first kick off, just get this whole thing going. You will be registered. That means you'll be in our bin on the 5th, I think I'm right, the 15th is Selection Sunday, Biff?
The 14th is for the NCAA, and the 15th is for us.
Okay, 14th is selections. All right. So then on the 15th, we will draw names from our bin of the 64 who have been registered, and we will match you up with teams in the 64 teams, and then we'll play Watchdog Madness along with March Madness. So right now, 304-232-8255, 304-232-TALK, looking for 2 entries into our Watchdog Madness contest. Let's check some headlines real quick. We've got Billy DeFabio here, and then Zach and I will talk. All coming up, Watchdog Morning Show for a Tuesday.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley, and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKKX. The Watchdog.
Good Tuesday morning, Ohio Valley. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your 7 News headlines. Governor Justice has announced an exciting milestone as West Virginia approaches the 1-year mark of battling the coronavirus. For the first time in 4 long months, no new COVID deaths are being reported in the Mountain State. The good news has many West Virginians curious about which guidelines could be reduced next. However, the governor says it's still premature to say what ones would be on the table. Between all 3 vaccine shipments, state health officials anticipate more than 90 doses coming this week. And starting Thursday, a lot more Ohioans will be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine, including law enforcement. State leaders such as Attorney General David Yost have been pushing for months to get officers eligible for the vaccine. Many say it's not just about protecting themselves, but more so others, not wanting to unknowingly give COVID to a community member or even bring it home to their own families. New details from the state legislature. Senators have just passed a bill that will allow charter schools in the state. However, 3 Republicans, including Senator Ryan Weld, voted against the bill. In the past, Weld supported the charter school legislation, saying it could be good for public education in the state. But his issue with the bill is the portion that allows virtual public charter schools to form. It also enrolls 10% of the school population, which is nearly 26,000 students. With grades plummeting from virtual learning, Weld thinks this could be concerning. And that was a look at your headlines. Have a great day, everyone.
Well, the Pittsburgh Penguins are back in action tonight as they host the Philadelphia Flyers. These two teams will play 3 games. Basketball. Wheeling University Cardinals will play in the MEC tournament after defeating Alderson Broaddus 97-91. The Cardinals will play Charleston Friday in quarterfinal action. In the Big 12 tonight in Morgantown, huge college basketball matchup. According to the coaches poll, the Mountaineers are ranked 5th in the nation. They will host number 3 Baylor. Well, free agent J.J. Watt will not play for the Green Bay Packers, will not play in the AFC North with the Cleveland Browns. JJ has just signed a 2-year deal with Arizona, 2 years, $31 million, $23 million guaranteed. Hey, be safe out there. Be considerate of others. Check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog AM 1600.
Listen to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio just the way you like it. Follow us on Facebook for the latest news, show updates, podcasts, alerts, and live video streams from the Valley's only network dedicated to local, community-driven talk radio. The Watchdog.
He rambles, he rants, and sometimes he sings. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Yes, I've already done my rant about Dr. Seuss being taken off the 6 different books of Dr. Seuss being taken off the market because of racist attitudes being shown in them, which I still don't understand. I will do more research on that, though. So I've had one rant this morning. I had several rants in the last couple of days, and if you missed my ranting, and you actually want to hear them, I've got some of them up on the podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. Go to the podcast page, and some of the rants are up there, plus some of our good interviews are up there as well. And we're getting you registered for the Watchdog Madness contest. The first 2 folks have been registered. We're going to register up to 16 on this show, 16 on each of our other talk shows as well. Big Rick, Billy D, Dr. G, and did I forget anybody? Me, Big Rick, Dr. G, and Don. Yeah, and Billy D. Okay.
Yep.
Get those folks registered. Each of us will register 16. Then we'll have 64 names. They'll be in a bin after Selection Sunday. On our Selection Monday, we'll reach into the bin, and one by one, we'll pull names out of the 64 registers we've got, and we'll match you up with the team, and then we'll see how your team goes. Somebody's going to win a big screen TV.
Yes, they are.
So that'd be kind of nice. Did we get 2 registered, Biffy?
We did. We got Mark and Marsha.
All right. Those folks are registered. We may do a little bit more today. We'll do some more every day between now and the 15th. Well, let's just talk about March Madness. It's one of the things that's going on in the month of March, where we are officially in meteorological spring. We talked about it yesterday. And Zach, I guess we hit real spring this month too, right?
Yeah, we do. 18 days away from the official first day of spring, March 20th.
So March meteorological spring, March, what do we call
Astronomical.
that? Astronomical. All right, astronomical spring coming up as well. And daylight savings time starts this month.
Yeah, I know. I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because that'll mean it's even brighter when you go to sleep, right?
Yeah, it means that. And then we lose an hour of sleep. And I already don't sleep enough, Howard, so I don't want to lose an extra hour that I already don't give myself. So not looking forward to that at all. Even though I'll probably be waking up on, I think we do that on like Sundays is typically when daylight saving occurs.
Right.
And I'll probably be waking up to the point where I'm watching the clock go back or go forward an hour. I'm like, oh, wait, it was 1:59, and now all of a sudden it just went to 3 o'clock. What the heck is going on? And I'll probably be like, oh, that's right. I forgot. And then probably hopefully fall back asleep, even though I typically don't. But that's just
Emily and I used
life.
to joke about the fact that we always felt that there were probably people who stayed up and waited till 2 o'clock to adjust their clocks. Like they thought they had, have to do it right at 2.
Yep.
You can actually do it before you go to sleep if you want to, but it is kind of interesting to watch. Just to suddenly, it's like time travel, right?
Literally.
It's like time travel. I mean, to be one moment you're in 1 o'clock, the next minute you're in 2. Whoa, where'd that happen?
Exactly. Yeah, it just in the blink of an eye too. It's crazy.
All right, I have to be honest. In my younger days, when I was out about at 1 o'clock in the morning, sometimes it became 2 and I didn't even realize it.
I know what you're talking about.
That was a whole different kind of thing. Going to be a sunny day today, but not so much a warm one, right?
No, yeah, the sun will be out shining bright, and the crisp, vast blue skies will be out in full force. Just the sun rays won't really warm up those thermometers too much. I'm only expecting upper 30s, if not low 40s for your high today. But a different story tomorrow. Looks like we could have as of now, we are expected to see the warmest day of the work week. So I'd say the nicest day of the work week tomorrow, where we could flirt with 50 degrees, but again, mostly sunny the next 2 days. Certainly get out to recharge those vitamin D batteries that have been probably drained for most of winter, just because we haven't had this bright, vast blue skies to talk about. I have to go all the way back to December 11th was the last time I could find any sort of picture of myself wearing my fair weather tie.
I did get to see. Are you wearing a fair weather tie today?
Yep, the blue fair weather tie is out in full force today.
All right, sounds good. We're basically going to be sunny all week long, right? A few clouds in, maybe on Thursday a little bit, but basically it's going to be a sunny week, correct?
Oh, yeah, a sun-filled forecast for sure. Again, the only reason I changed the icon on Thursday is, like you said, a couple more clouds in the sky, since today's going to be most, if not all, sun. A stray cloud or two tomorrow, but again, more sun. And that's one of those things that I guess I run into problems with, like, for the pictures, is because, okay, if I put this icon on it, well, does that mean, how does the audience see it whenever I put this graphic in, which I guess you took it the same way that I was thinking, just a couple more clouds in the sky, but you still have the sun icon behind it on Thursday. So I'm glad that I'm kind of learning as I go, and you're kind of my guinea pig in terms of, well, what do you see? And then you tell me what you see, and then I either go change it, or it's like, I'm doing success, because if you're saying this, then you're seeing it the same way that I see it, if that makes sense. I don't make sense in the morning.
Tomorrow's going to be 50, so it's going to be warm, comparatively warm. The rest of the week, it's about seasonal, right? I mean, low 40s. That's about seasonal for this time of year, right?
Yeah, well, our normal high temperature for this time of year is right around 44. We'll climb to 45 by Thursday. But again, a couple of degrees between you and me. We'll just call it seasonable, if not slightly cooler. It's not going to be anything well below average. So certainly a nice little pick-me-up. And I do have mid-50s possibly extending on into the next work week, which, again, I'm not one that likes to foreshadow, especially since we're just starting this work week off. But I do have mid to low 50s by the time the next work week rolls in, so could be kind of nice, extending on all the way into the next work week, but let's just finish this one out first.
Sounds good. I like the sound of that. Yesterday, we didn't have much sun, and the temperature was 40-ish, I guess. It was colder outside than I realized it was. When we came back from picking up Teddy at his school and got out of the car, he ran right away to the swing we have on our tree in the front yard. He wanted to swing, and he swung for a couple of minutes. Next thing I know, he's putting the hood up over his head. And I was sitting on the glider because he tells me, Granddad, go sit on the glider. And we were playing a couple of word games like we like to do when he swings. But very quickly, he got off the swing and put his hands in his pocket and came and sat beside me. It was just a little bit too cool to be outside the way we were.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
probably
there was
the
not
same
enough sun
case
to
would be
warm things
today.
up. What's that?
Probably the same case would be today. It'll look beautiful. I mean, wall-to-wall sunshine, but it'll just never really have that warmth. So tell him tomorrow he'll be able to be out and enjoy the warmth because it'll feel about 10 degrees warmer tomorrow. So good stuff to look forward to.
We were talking, you and I and Biff, we all three were talking, was it just yesterday about, just yesterday, because yesterday was meteorological spring. What are the things that define the start of spring? And Biff, you pointed out that for me, what's one of the big things that defines the beginning of spring and summer?
Is the pool.
Yep. So on our way home from school yesterday, Teddy says, Granddad, let's go to the park and see if they filled the pool yet. So, he knows Granddad wants to see that pool filled with water. Sadly, they had not, but he wanted to go take a look at it. So that's good. All right, Zach. So a seasonable, acceptable week. Enjoy the sunshine. Sun is good. I like sun. And if you're in the car or something and you're just feeling the sun coming through the window, it's nice and warm on you.
That is definitely a nice pick-me-up comparative to the winter cold and the gray and the blah weather.
Yeah. I'm looking, I left the door to the other room open here, which I shouldn't have done, just letting some echo come through, but I can look through and see. It looks pretty nice outside right now, actually.
It looks beautiful. Sun's out in full force and just picturesque. It's just a little cool. But hey, I'll wear my heavy jacket to enjoy the sun any day of the week.
I got you. All right, Zach, appreciate it. We'll talk again tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Yep, sounds good. Have a good rest of your Tuesday, gentlemen.
All right, you too. Zach Petty from the Big 7, WTRF TV, checking in this morning on the Watchdog Morning Show. Yeah, just looking at some of the things that are happening in the month of March. We do have some meteorological spring yesterday, real spring coming up a little bit later on this month. March Madness, as we mentioned, coming up. This is the first March Madness in 2 years, right? Because we didn't have one last year.
No, remember they were still in conference tournament play, and the couple of the big tournaments started canceling, and that's when I think we kind of knew that we weren't going to have the tournament this year or last year. Excuse me.
But we are going to have a tournament, and we had our Watchdog Madness contest in full swing. We were getting people registered for Watchdog Madness last year, first time we'd done that contest, and then. We couldn't play it out because we didn't have any 64 selections to match people up with or any games to play. So we ended up having to come up with some other ways to give away our big screen TV. But this year, March Madness underway and Watchdog Madness underway. Daylight savings time starts this month, March 14th. Spring forward. So we get more daylight in the evening hours, if that's what you like. So that's good. First day of spring on the 20th. That's good. Some big TV shows coming back this month. The Voice returns tonight. The Masked Singer next week. Grey's Anatomy, is that still on the air? Holy mackerel. How long has that been on?
Has it been close to 20 years yet for Grey's Anatomy?
I think it has to be, yeah.
I know it's been a while.
Three, actually, big shows came on, I think, the same year, all on ABC. Grey's Anatomy, Lost. Remember the show Lost, Biffy? That science fiction deal where the guys crashed a plane on an island. And the first season or two was really interesting, and then it just got wackadoodle.
I never watched it. From the previews, it just looked like, yeah, this isn't something I'd watch.
It was really fun, almost an intellectual challenge the first couple of years. What's going on here? What's going on here? And then they started going through time, and they had time travel and strange. Eventually it lost me. What was the third one? Grey's Anatomy, Lost. Oh, Desperate Housewives. Those all three came on came on TV on ABC the same year. And I remember for a couple of reasons, and one of them is those were some of the first shows they ever put on demand on ABC's app. Prior to that, you couldn't go online and watch your shows online on demand. And those are the first ones that were that way. And that's one of the reasons I was able to watch Lost, because you couldn't skip an episode. It was, a serial mystery, if you will. But because you could always go online and catch an episode, it worked. So, but man, it's got to be 20 years ago, right? Got to be.
If not, it's pretty close.
Pretty close. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Oh, there's a show I love to watch. Comes up on the 18th. And the new Godzilla vs. Kong movies will hit the theaters on March 31st. And when it hits theaters, if it's is it Paramount? It's going to be on HBO Max as well. The big box office movie this weekend was the animated / live action Tom and Jerry cartoon. Remember Tom and Jerry, the old cat and mouse cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
This is a new version of that. Just came out this weekend. Big at the box office, but it's also on HBO Max. And we watched a little bit of it last night with Teddy on HBO Max. It was embarrassing. I couldn't remember who was Tom and who was Jerry. Little 5-year-old's got to tell me, Granddad, that's Tom. That's Jerry. Okay. It's going to be an interesting experiment. HBO, again, is it Paramount? Is that the production company? Or Warner Bros.? Anyway, one of the major production companies has said from now on, all of their big movies will be released on the big screen. You can go see them in the Cineplex. But at the same time, they'll be released on HBO Max. And, I don't know what that's going to do to movie theaters. If you can watch it at home, in the leisure of your own home, hey, it's always fun to go to the theater and have popcorn and watch the big screen. But when you do it at home, I don't know. Anyway, Godzilla vs. Kong hits the movie theaters on March 31st. And holidays in the month of March, St. Patty's Day and Passover. So those are, a bunch of things coming up in the month of March. Well, we're going to get serious. Coming up in the next hour of the show, we'll turn our attention to the DC world with Tom Squitieri. Coming up next, after we check in with ABC, they cover the world. Here on the Watchdog Morning Show for a Tuesday.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News.
When I went to sleep last night, I had this entire show planned out. I mean, I'm almost to the minute. And now I haven't gotten to anything. Nothing yet. Yeah, that's it, But I heard that Dr. Seuss story. I knew I was going to have to take some time to talk about that. But, geez. But I haven't got. I was going to do Tiger Woods and the Zoom stories, and then do March Madness, and then kick into some legislative stuff all before the half-hour mark. Well, that didn't work out at all. So, all right, Squitieri coming up next. Let me know when he's on the line, and I'm going to refill my coffee cup. Thank you.